What's going on, everyone? Good evening. Good evening in that chat room. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if I'm blown out or all messed up. I'm sure you just heard that car horn, that's for sure. I mean, I am in Brooklyn here. I've been having some audio issues, but I'm trying to alleviate them. So you let me know if everything's all right there in the chat. And I hope you guys are having a really nice evening. Let's have a really, really chill session tonight. I'll be right with you guys in a minute. All right. All right. So I have no moderators, so I'm going to have to hawk the chat a little bit just in case. You know how that goes. You know how that goes. You know how that goes. All right. Anyway, we're doing this on a different platform tonight. We usually do this on Twitch, but tonight I decided to do a nice filthy trick and try to get some of you people that follow this channel. Whoop, what happened here? There we go. Try to get some of you people that follow this channel here over to my Twitch channel. So, oh, there's my alarm. Here's what's going to happen. First of all, yeah, I know. Here basically, if you're new to this, by the way, hi, my name is Seth Miranda. I'm a pro photographer right here in New York. This is a image review more than a critique. I'm really not looking to really come down on people. I try to lend whatever insights I might have, and majority of people in the chat right now could probably attest to having some past experience in the critique. But the way they work for me is you have to be in the chat at the time I find your image in my Discord. If you're new to this channel, you can join my Discord. The link is in the caption. There is a Discord link. That's an invite. All you have to do is read the rules and hit agree, and welcome to the Discord, full of all these lovely people that you're seeing inside the chat room right now. A lot of support in there. You can share work, share experiences, talk about gear, even just vent out your issues personally. Whatever you got, you're able to be a part of that community. And the whole point of it is, I just got really sick of what's been going on out there with negative clickbait titles and just misinformation. And a lot of elitism that it seems to really turn off a lot of new people, and even some people that are just kind of been in this a while and could just use some refresher or maybe learn some more about the newer technologies that we have at our disposal and things like that. So the Discord is meant to be a very safe space. It's pretty well guarded. There's a lot of moderators in there and things like that. So anyone that you would be troll, not there, okay? If you're wondering who I am and what my credibility is as far as photographer goes for doing critiques, I know maybe it's not easy to believe this, but I am a professional photographer of 2 decades. I'm 20 years deep. I'm mostly known for special effects, makeup, shooting a lot for makeup artists, product packaging, screen testing, creatures, things like that. So you may have seen some of my stuff on Last X Witness, which is my Instagram, and you'll see a bunch of bleeding zombies, creepy aliens, and everything in between, burn victims and old age makeups, and every now and then you'll just see some beautiful images. I like think they're beautiful, of pretty people and some other things. So yeah, I have been in this game a long time. I've shot every format of film, went to the digital switchover, and I am also a host on Adorama TV. You can find me there. I have a live view playlist where you can see me working on set, basically. And if you are new to me in general, join me on Twitch, because I go live there way more than I go live here on YouTube, and I'm really trying to grow that channel. So pretty much you're gonna have to head over there in a little bit to finish the critique if you guys want to join us. So go ahead and add Last X Witness on Twitch. If you're not signed up for Twitch, I promise you it is 100% free. You do not have to pay a dime for Twitch, despite what it might seem like on there with people throwing donations and buying subscriptions. You don't have to. My page is free to follow, and you're welcome to join us there. I'm live multiple times a week right there, and anybody in this chat could probably let you know what it's like over there. And the Discord goes hand in hand with the Twitch channel. So don't forget, this is going to cut off in about 45 minutes. And we're going to go right over to Twitch and keep on going. Last night, I did this for 3 hours. And I did it for 2 hours the night before that. So, you know, I go for it here, okay? Any questions, you guys? Anybody new in the chat that doesn't ever follow me or whatever? I'm going to quickly, you know what, I should have been better prepared. I should have brought up, I feel like more people discover me here than on Twitch, so I feel like I should do some sort of intro. So if you don't know me, this is some of my work. I shoot a lot in the studio. I'm known a lot for doing like shutter drag type techniques. You know, stuff like this would sum me up pretty good. A nice creepy exorcism with some sci-fi mixed in there and some shutter drag techniques. This is one of my more known images that are out there. It was featured as a 2-page spread rangefinder. You know, over and over again, you guys can just find more and more of my work. If you want to follow me, the link to my Instagram and everything else is in the description of this video. But and I'm talking like that because a lot of the people that are going to find this video are going to see it after the fact, not while we're live right now. So that's why I'm talking like this. And I'm pretty much doing this to hopefully get new people over to the Twitch channel. There's about 5,000 subscribers at the time of this going live here on YouTube. We have about 730 people on Twitch, and they are locked in and engaged and for real trying to be a photo community. So, you know, you made my dog an alien? Did I? Oh, the filters last night? Nah, that wasn't crazy. But yeah, I mean, you can check out a bunch of my work if you want to know who I am and what I'm all about and how I shoot, my style, and how long I've been doing this, and everything else. I have nothing to hide. You guys can find me on everything Last X Witness, just like right here. This is youtube.com/lastxwitness, so don't worry about it. Oh man, first time I was really late. Nah, you're not really late. I started this early because I knew some of you slackers would take forever to get here. It's okay. It's okay. Look, I've been going hard on the critiques mainly because I'm starting to see a lot of things out there that kind of bother me, where people are offering mentorships and things that aren't really mentorships. You're paying like a few $100s for an hour of someone's point of view who may or may not have a lot of credibility to them. So I'm trying to do this, one, for free. Yeah, I'm not going to look at 100 of your images, but you yourself should get better at editing your images down to find the ones you want to present and get feedback on, or maybe you're really psyched on these images and need a different viewpoint on them, because we all look at images in our own little bubble, our own way of thinking, and then you don't have those fresh eyes. And keep in mind, every time you put an image out there, you're not there to speak for it. So like I said last night in the Twitch photo critique, every decision you make in a photo is a word in a sentence, and if that sentence isn't coherent, the photo is a language. If we don't understand it, it doesn't connect. You may like the image, it might resonate with you for whatever reason, but it might not be absorbed by the masses or an audience in general, because there's some sort of barrier. And hopefully this will help you mitigate some of that. We'll start making you realize some decisions you can make as far as composition, exposure, what you can add, what you can subtract, all sorts of things. George, if you missed last night, it is up on Twitch. It's sitting there. The last 2 days I went live doing a critique, and this is the third. Is this the third night in a row? I went Monday. Did I do it Sunday? No, I did Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So this is Wednesday. This is the fourth critique in a row, right? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Lori's in the chat, and she's been to every single critique, even the ones in person when I did them in Adorama with Daniel Norton. But yeah. If you're new, welcome. Please hit subscribe, and please hit follow on my Twitch channel. Actually, I should probably bring that. I should probably bring that up actually, so that you guys can follow there as well. Let me just grab this. So, just so you're aware, this. Whoa! What is happening?
24/7. Create a trailer to welcome them. This happening.
Stop. Okay. So this is the Twitch channel, just so you're aware. There's lots of back videos here. You can check out all the videos on the video tab, and you'll see all the critiques. You'll even see me doing live demos. You'll see me in the street here in New York. You'll see me working on set. Lots of live demos, more critiques, me walking around the city. Lots of stuff happening on the Twitch channel. You're more than welcome to join us there. Please, please consider signing up for Twitch. Again, it is 100% free. I promise you that. That's the train, because I'm in Brooklyn here. I'm going to try not to yell tonight because last night I was blowing my voice out left and right. It was really painful, actually. When I was done, my throat was killing me. And this is the Discord, where there are plenty of chat rooms over here for you to get into. No matter what system of camera or lighting you're in, there's somebody out in there that can lend some insight, or maybe even selling gear. You could sell gear. Of course, you can stay in touch with some of the hosts. Ab Cisse, who is a magician with lighting. Vanessa Joy, who's a Canon ambassador and probably one of the best wedding photographers out there. Daniel Norton, who needs no introduction. If you know my channel, you probably know Daniel Norton, who has been one of the first educators out there on YouTube, to be honest with you. If you don't know Dan Norton, check yourself. But there's plenty of stuff in here. I mean, video links people video links people share. And you can even have your images critiqued by the group. It doesn't have to be by me at all. You know, you can just put stuff in here where it doesn't go live and you just kind of talk about it as peers. This, however, is wait, where is it? Where is it? I lost the room with the live image critique. Share your images for live review. So you can, this is the room where we actually go over your images, and I go over them chronologically. So that means wherever I left off, and you have to be here because this is a discussion. I'm not here to bash anyone's work. I'm not here to discourage anyone from shooting. I'm here to hopefully give you guys another perspective from somebody who has been doing this a long time, has been through a lot of it. I probably have a little bit of weird gap knowledge that you guys don't get out there. I mean, case in point, the C-stand video. I had no idea so many people didn't know how to use a C-stand. I did the video out of boredom. It's one of my most watched videos, and it seems like there's just not a lot of people talking about the in-between stuff, right? We talk about, here's what Rembrandt lighting is, which, by the way, stop it. But they don't talk about all the dumb little things that you might not know, like how to properly mount that light, how to be safe on set, all sorts of things like that. So hopefully I have some knowledge that you guys take and run with a little bit. Hopefully you take this critique and run with it and get psyched to go shoot some more. If you're not following the Twitch channel, now's the time to do it because I will be switching over to that in about 45 minutes. All right, guys? So having said that, that's a lot of intro, I know. If you guys in the chat are ready to go right into this critique of your work, I want to see everybody type ready in the chat. I want to see cap locks. I want to see people yelling in that chat room. All right? Oh, it's so frosty and nice. All right. And I know I'm on a crazy delay, by the way, so I apologize. I hope I don't get skewered for liking Rembrandt light. You can like whatever you want. My gripe with Rembrandt lighting is people just do it to replicate a lighting scheme. They never really do it to apply it to portray somebody. A lot of people just get these cookie cutter, paint by number style lighting schemes and they get stuck on them. And that's the problem. When you guys approach something as a photographer, when you're creating all the light yourself, create the light you think brings out what you see in that person to portray them for a portrait. It's a crazy idea, I know. I just think that people love teaching the typical things over and over again because it's easy to regurgitate. And that's why you got to give credit to people who shoot live. When you see Dan Norton, Ab Cisse, I'm just going to say myself, you know, when you see us do it on the spot and it's always different, that's really lighting. That's really photography, okay? So if you like Rembrandt lighting, knock yourself out. I'm just going to ask you guys why you chose Rembrandt lighting for that subject. You're like, look, I got the triangle. Then your subject is irrelevant to that shot. Therefore, it's not really a portrait to me, okay? I'm harsh, but it's all out of love, guys, I promise. One question, are we using Daniel as a bounce board? What? No? I don't know. All right, let's go over to the Discord and get this party started, all right? So we went over these last night with Patty, and this one we went over with Lori. We went over this one for sure. Trick poker, we went over your ballerina shot here with her super strong feet. It's insane how these women do this. Looks like Jaded Writer. Oh, wait a second. Is Smallfield Tom in the chat? I saw Smallfield Tom in the chat. If he's there, I know he has a shot back here that we skipped last night. And because he's been part of this little community for so long, if you're here, Tom, I'll go over this image for you, buddy. It's up to you. Man, I am on a long delay. I've got to be on a super long delay here. But you let me know if you're in there, Tom. Also, the chat is dead. I don't know if you guys are talking in there and I'm just not seeing it, but I got nothing coming through here. You guys there? Let me know. Tom's here. Okay, so let's go over this image right here. All right, we got some grayscale portrait action going on here. So right off the bat, the overall vibe of this image is very nice, right? Like I feel like I'm spending a day with this woman. I feel like this is a memory. There's a moment that you really got. It's very organic looking. It's really beautiful light, shallow depth of field, of course. You put your film grain over it and things like that. But I think there's a couple things that we could have done just a touch better here. And I'm just going to quickly throw this. Again, if you're new to our critiques here, I don't edit for real. I just edit them really quickly to give you an idea of what we could have changed. So right off the bat, Tom, as nitpicky as this is, and remember, when I'm giving you this insight, it's not because you should know this always or you should have done this then. It's take these tidbits and hold them in your pocket, and hopefully subconsciously you kind of make better decisions as you're working faster out there. So when I look at her, as soon as I hit this, it sends my eye right out of the frame. Right here, sends me right out. So off the bat, I just want to see what happens when we do a quick little, just a little, you know, just a little crop. See, look how much more I'm engaged with her already. You know what I'm saying? Like I could probably even crop just a touch more, just a touch. Look how much more engaged I am with her already. Here's the original, here's the crop. Like I'm already like leaning into her eyes more, right? I got a little bit of her top there, so I know she's not like naked on the beach or something like that. It feels like I'm on the beach though, so I'll tell you that much. Beautiful collarbones. The one thing, it does have a little bit of flat feeling to it. So if I go to my levels and I see that there's no real blacks, you could like this grayscale style. You guys know by now that I like to have an anchor point for my blacks to just give me something to really lock into. When you take it away, you see how it has this like fog to it and we lose a little definition over here? Watch what happens. Boom, I put it down. Now I'm starting to see things. The one thing that's kind of bothering me is it feels like you dodged over here a little hard because there's just something not right about this tonality in this section right here. And because of that, I just want to see what would happen if we kind of bring that back. So I'm just going to go to shadows. I'm just going to go to like a 9, protect the tones. And I'm just going to brush in what I think the shadow probably was, right? Because it feels a little processed to me. I'm not going to front. I know it's a low-res version of whatever the shot really is, but it feels like there was a miss on the sculpting there. So here's where you had it, right? This is what you submitted. Here's where I put it. And this is a really sloppy, junky edit, but do you get the changes I made? I took away a line that really sent me right out of the frame. I really wish I could have seen more of her hair, to be honest with you. That would have been really nice, just to complete this like waterfall of gorgeous hair she's got going on. But for the most part, just having her a little more closer to this side of the frame would be really nice. Is this all making sense, Tom? I feel like no one's listening to me here, so I don't know what to say anymore. And again, I'm not saying you should Photoshop the image, but instead of keeping her so dead center, like this is dead center on her eye, a little bit of the top is distracting for me. But I like the closer feel. What's distracting you on the top? Because to me, this has got a very gray fade feel to it, which you might like. I'm just adding a little bit of definition to her, just a touch. I get it. I thought I cropped it tight, but I could have gotten tighter. It's not even the crop, Tom. It's the weight to the left that's kind of hurting me here because you're cutting off where I could see all this beautiful texture of this woman, and then I have this dead space over here. You know, over here, this isn't doing much for me. It's not telling me where she is. It's not giving me an idea of the environment, right? It's just this like neutral gray space. And what we could do is get our viewer to really engage with her more. In fact, I would even, because I dropped down just a touch, just open that up a little bit. Not even that much, just a little. Just a touch, so that I have my dense blacks giving me an anchor point, but I also have, oh, the black top you're saying. Oh, I see. I like knowing that she has a top on. I like knowing that she has clothes. It makes me feel that like it's very casual. There's an intimacy level. It feels like I'm in public, like I'm at a beach or something like that. I do need to figure out where that light on the chin comes from because I didn't dodge. That might have been kickback from her hair. Yeah, but it also could have been whatever you profiled this as. However you made the black and white might not have had a gamut on that side of the grayscale. Do you get what I'm saying? So you guys always see my grayscale and you ask me how I go about it, but the reality is, let me see. I guarantee this won't do much, but let's just see if it does it. When I take away the warm tone and I go into like pure black and white, if I took the blues, nah, it didn't start out as color, so it's not going to do it. Yeah, it's not going to do it. All right. If this started out in color, you could have done all the sliders for all the color values to change your gray tone. I almost like her top is showing. There's not enough exact know what it is. Yeah, like I don't need all the clues here. Like I don't care about where she is right now because I'm so locked in on her. There's no denying we're connected to this woman. Boom, we're there with her. We're almost standing side by side. To me, it feels like a beach. There's like rolling water back here or something like that. Because it's got so much light flying around. It could be light reflecting off of the sand. I don't know. I don't care. But I do want to engage and connect with this woman here. But if I go back to your original, look how far she's leaning onto that side of the frame, and I have all this abyss to fall into, and I lose my connection with her as a person. And I think that's where we kind of step into the mistake, If I could have not only cropped this off, but also had her hair complete over here and her over to the side of the frame a little more, I'd have been a little happier with this. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I know this is like a totally bad edit, but it's also a very low res image. Does that make sense to everybody? Man, we are on a way longer delay than we are on Twitch, by the way. Would you dodge the dark line on the back of her neck under the jaw? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The second you start doing things like that is when you start altering the lighting and it doesn't look like actual lighting anymore. It looks like you messed with it, and messing with it leads the viewer, if they're at all trained, to go, there's something off here. To me, the densities over here almost seem off. Like, why would there be such a heavy line, but doesn't have that density? It's because of that is part of the color grading you gave this. Yes, it's even color grading in black and white because of the tonality, So I would have loved to have seen more of the hair out of focus coming off of her shoulders more. I think she's got a great look to her, really beautiful bone structure, the freckles, all of that. And even the film grain you gave it, not in quotations, heavy quotations, gives us a nice feel to it. It's just all around a nice feeling image. I like the vibe a lot. I just think the framing was a little bit off. That's all. Even still, who cares? Who cares? You know what I'm actually wondering? This is kind of crazy. Nah, I'm not going to do it. Nah, I'm going to do it. Why not? Let's just play a game. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens with a nice cinematic look to it. Like that. And then what I'll do is I will take, I'm just curious how this would look because we're just messing around. It's not a big deal. We're just messing around. Wait. Apple T, Shift. You see how something like that would be kind of nice? You fill the frame. We have all this like lines to go through now. Does that make sense? Like, it's totally fake and artificial. I mean, this is completely exacerbated over here. But do you get what's happening over here, guys? So to me, this is like, now I'm really connected to her. Now it's very cinematic. Now it feels like a total moment, you know? It's a little flat for me. Like, there still isn't like a something to bite into because it's just so meek in tone. So I don't know what you guys think about that because we're on such a delay. We're on such a delay. Wonder what happens when I really crunch it down. Something like that, maybe. What do you guys think of that? Kind of cool, right? I think I'm going to go over it again and repost this in the channel. Do whatever you want, man. But do you see how connected we are to her now? And how the frame is just utilized, right? Like, even if there's dead space here, it works to balance out the image. You know, like, it's not like we have to always fill dead space. Negative space can speak just as loudly as filled in. It's just, I think that's something like that. Keep it in mind the next time you shoot. You guys have seen me shoot stuff like this constantly. Whenever I do, look, I could show you. I mean, I'm totally like brainwashing you guys to shoot the way I shoot. You know, like, there's got to be something in here that's like that. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, look, you know what I mean? Like, I do this kind of stuff all the time, cutting off the top of the head. People freak out. I don't know why, but they always freak out. But, you know, of course, mine's a little weird. But you see how it just gets you in there? Do you know what I mean? So I definitely love my black and white on the contrasty side, but I do like the even tones. Yeah, contrasty doesn't always work for everything. You know, there are times where flat works. The goal of this is to get to a point where you don't always stick to the 1, 2, 3 ABC rules that you make yourself for your style, but rather take these techniques you can grow into a Rolodex of skills and just like pull them out when you think it works, and understanding when the techniques and the tools work for whatever you're doing. Does that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to build up a large skill set, you know? Do you always try to zoom in on at least a few shots each session? Look, the way I look at shooting, and I think you guys have heard me say this plenty of times, right? When I shoot, I go through the motions of 3 steps. I get the absolute safe shot, 100% as clean as I can, super safe shot. Then I do a variation that I already know works, a technique that I know will work. So I have 2 looks that work, 1 super safe no matter what happens. The second one, which is a little bit different, so they have some options, feel like they got a lot out of it. And then the third one, I throw it against the wall. If I think, of course there's logic to it, like maybe this will be cool, give it a shot. If it does work, great. If it doesn't work, you know it doesn't work for that situation, but you can keep trying it again at different situations and different dynamics in the frame to see if that shoot works for it. So I always do 3 different, I always try to approach it 3 ways when I'm shooting. Of course, when I shoot now, I don't have a lot of time. Like, everything is a job and it's like go, 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 go. So I only have 1 or 2 things I can try. And after all this time, hopefully you guys have tried a bunch of stuff that goes, this works, that doesn't work, I kind of like this, you know. Tops of heads are overrated, such an old-fashioned view. Yeah, well, if you ever look at when me and Dan shoot live, whenever we cut into the head like this, you'll always get like the oldest guys in the chat room going, you cut off the top of her head, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing something that's not boring. How's that? But then there's times when, you know, keeping her whole head in the frame is great. You know, I mean, I think, you know, there's a time to do it. There's also, you have to know where to cut into the head, right? Here, I try not to cut on the hairline like that so much, but I felt like it worked here because I had the ear to anchor me in, and you're locked in. I just want you to see the skin tones, right? But I adjusted and I got the hairlines a little more in there, but I felt like she was a little low. And then, you know, this was just a straightforward shot, you know. And these are right out of camera. You can see there's no retouch on them, you know. So that's just the way I do things, you know. And even this one, right? I cut into her head a little bit. If we had this old-fashioned, we always need to have the whole head in there. It's like, that's so boring to me. It's so boring, you know. So I try to use the brow lines a lot, and if you notice on yours, I use the brow lines to keep me locked in, because usually your eye will lock into someone else's eyes, and then once they hit the brow line, that's usually like this subconscious barrier for us to not go and look for the rest of someone's head there, you know? To me, I think this is really beautiful in this very cinematic style of 16 by 9. You don't have to do 16 by 9. You can do the usual frame lines or whatever, but this is just a quick edit. You know, the new Cinecrop is like that old Pantene ad, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Yeah, I mean, look, we've been looking at images for how many years now, right? I mean, and now we're looking at more images in 1 hour than people have looked at in a month. Think about it. We're inundated with images in this day and age. So give them something that they can remember, you know, give them something that they can bite into for a little bit, you know? You know, I fail to see where doing the usual frame lines ever really makes people remember what's going on there, you know? I mean, I don't know. Call me crazy. All right, let's go back into this. So, Tom, nice job. I liked it. I like it a lot. Just some stuff to keep in mind for next time. That's all. Okay. I'm glad you were in the chat, though, bud, because, oh, look at our own Twixler. Self-Portrait City over here. Love it. Love it. Love all that energy from Robin in the chat. She's great. Okay. Mike, we did this one. Is Mike in the chat anyway? Is Mike in the chat anyway? All right. Records. I know we did this one because I did a composite over it. Really beautiful image. We did that last night. Destiny Panko. Destiny Panko, are you in the chat? Destiny Panko, going once. Actually, live on YouTube right now. Can you check out mine? I will get to whoever's is there within the order. People submitted, we go chronologically. We are going to take the rest of this critique over to Twitch, so you have to join me there. No Destiny? Okay. Lisa, we talked about yours last night. Lisa, we talked about yours. Talked about that one for sure. Lori, we talked about that one. Patty, we talked about your pup. And Trick Poke, we talked about that. Jaded Writer, are you in the chat? I know we're all off on names because our names match in Discord to Twitch, but they don't match on YouTube. Is Jaded Writer in here? I don't know what his YouTube name is. And Jacob Utah, if you're in the chat. Or is that more Jacob Utah right there? And I also got eFriend. Marcus. Marcus is Jaded. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at this. Well, the colors are nice, right? But it's really hard. Man, those sirens are going crazy. I wonder what just happened outside my building. It is Brooklyn, everybody. It is Brooklyn. So the question about this frame is, what is the subject? Is it the texture of this bark? Is it this lowly strand of a spider web? What is the subject here, right? What is the, where should my eye go and why should it go there and what should I receive from it? There's a few things that right off the bat are kind of a little weird, right? So here we go. First things first, my eye cannot stop going to this out of focus, blown out light coming through the trees. And this is also very centered. So no matter what the subject is, I think what you have to do is give us a little bit more of a dynamic composition. If I do just this, look what happens. I have a lead-in line to go right to here. Nothing's taking me out of the frame. I get this negative space, which is actually kind of nice, right? I mean, if I really wanted to, I could get a little bit touch tighter here, and I could get a little touch tighter here, and I'm gonna just crop this down a little bit here, and go a little bit up higher, And now look what happened. Now look what happened. Like we have a journey for our eye to go up and through, you know? So now we're actually able to have a little adventure with our eyeball, right? We have this little bit of sprouting going on here to look at. Here's what you gave us. Here's the crop that I'm giving. I'm actually debating if I needed more room there. This versus this. I guess a little more breathing room doesn't hurt. But this feels like I'm getting lost in all this. I feel like a lot of people make the bokeh or bouquet more their photo than the actual subject sometimes. So if you just got us in there and gave us some lines to follow, look at this. This line right here goes right into this spider web line right here, whatever it is. And then we even have like a little bit of sprouting here, and then we have all this texture of this bark, and we have the two tones of the bark, right? I think that's a way more successful than giving us all this like amazing bokeh going on here. That's great. That's fantastic separation. I know we all spend money on expensive lenses for that kind of stuff, but is it the tool that's going to tell this story? I don't know what the story here is, but I can tell you right now, whatever it is, I'm more in tune with the frame. You know, I think I'm on the longest delay ever, I think. Oh my God, this is so frosty and refreshing. It's crazy. Does that make sense, Marcus? Or did I lose you? Something just fell, and I don't know what it is. Oh well, I will look for it later. Is anybody in this chat listening, or what are we doing here? Am I on that much of a delay? Jeez. This is a long, long delay. Wow. So yeah, that's how I would do it. I love the exposure. I think the exposure is beautiful. I mean, the fact that I have detail in this shadow is fantastic. It's sharp as hell. The colors look fantastic. And I think that if you look at what's happening here, this right here, this line is what's leading our eye into everything. And the fact that you actually lined it up with this spider line web thing, I'm such a city guy, I'm sorry. It really lets us have that journey with our eyeball, just like our eyeball is literally walking up this little piece, pop, 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 and then we're over here at the jungle gym, you know? You photographed that stick for 15 minutes. See, that's a photographer, you know? And I even like this little thing right here. I don't even know what it is, but I don't even care. I think you did great, man. I think it's really nice. You got some backlight going on here. You have enough reflection off the rest of the tree bark to break open this shadow. Look at all this detail you got in the shadow. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Just for kicks, I'm wondering what a square would look like. Just for kicks. You see how this doesn't work as well now? See how that's just like boring as hell? That does not work. But this, we have a little bit of room and motion and kinetic energy happening there. Scary how close this shot looks to like my shot from Arches. Because it was the best stick ever. All right, nice job, Marcus. I just think a little bit of a crop is all you need right there. All right. Where are we going? Is Jacob Utah in the chat? I like the difference in green with the foreground. Yeah, it's beautiful. The color's fantastic. We need to make Seth a bingo card. Why, Twixler? Why? Because I cropped too much for you guys? Maybe if you learned how to compose an image. Just kidding. It's all out of love, guys. It's all out of love. Jacob Utah going once. Jacob Utah going twice. Wow, she's got color coordinated helmet, gloves, and bike. Look at this. Amazing. Jacob Utah, once, twice, gone. If he comes in, let him know, because I know I'm on a delay. eFriend. I don't even know if I've ever seen eFriend in our chat. eFriend. Once, twice. Not sure where it landed in the Discord. It's all right. Speaking of Arches, paging Jacob Utah. All right, no problem. Danny PH, Danny F, Danny F. Is Danny F in the chat? Danny F. No, no Danny PH. Are we going for it? Keep in mind, guys, we only have another like 15 or so minutes, and we're going over to the Twitch channel. So if you haven't followed the Twitch channel, get in there. Get on the Twitch channel. It's free. Sign up. If you have Amazon Prime, it links to that account already. It doesn't cost any money, I promise you. And that's where we go live most of the time. eFriend just appeared yesterday. Really? All right. Well, Danny F. No Danny F. Okay. George Fern. Do we got George Fern in the chat? We got a very senior portrait here. I feel like I saw George in this chat already, but, and of course Joe Cunningham, one of these two. If you aren't on my Twitch channel, you guys, we do this multiple times a week. So George Fernandez, okay. Let's take a look. Do you need to sign up to watch the rest of Critique on Twitch? Yeah, you need to be, just hit follow on my Twitch channel, and you can join us in the Discord, and you can be part of this. The Discord is like the best part of it all, honestly. All right, so this is as like, here you go, senior portrait as it gets, right? About the only thing you might have wanted, so you made some choices here. First of all, it's very, very neutral tone. We're talking about gray on gray with more gray. But what that actually adds is his skin tone comes off of it way more. Hey, Spicy Hot Sauce, thanks so much for joining. What was I getting into? Oh, so the choices here are kind of a nice way to do it, right? Everything is neutral except for his skin tone, which is what comes out of the frame the most, you know? Jacob, I'll go back to yours. Don't worry, hang tight, okay? The one thing I probably would have done is added maybe like just a subtle rim light. Like if you look at me, this is a very harsh rim light, but if I tone this down, all you get is just like if I shut this off, watch how much I don't come off this background at that much, right? So this lighting is acceptable, and I go to dark, but I wanted to have something that really just like kicked me off of the background, right? So if I turn this back on, I am without, I have no flexibility anymore. Now I have just, when I'm this way, I kind of come off of the background more. The only difference is it's not a ton of light that really over stylizes. You had a rim light, it was just lower power. That has a rim light on it. You may have had a rim light, but it wasn't pointed at him. Or spreading. The way to do a rim light is not to go lower power so much as, instead of going like okay, here we go. Instead of going like, hang on, let me get a light. Watch. Oh boy. So I'm going to turn this light on. It's going to be a terrible light because it's an LED, but instead of doing this, what you want to do is this. Watch. I'm going to shut off this light, and I'm going to shut off the overhead light. I'm going to shut off the overhead light. I'm going to shut off my fill light. Now watch. This is what a lot of people do with rim lights that doesn't work. What you want to do is that, where it's actually pointed forward more. And when you point it forward more, you see how it just grazes. Oh, you see how it just grazes against my head? It's right here. It actually exists. Wait. You see how it? You see how it's subtle? So what you really want to do is not point it at your subject like this, because odds are it's going to start hitting noses. It's going to burn a little hard. But if you point it forward, you catch the beam angle spread. And that's when you start getting like really nice, even rim lights and hair lights. Does that make sense to you guys? So, you know, that's that light. And that's this rim light over here. So that's kind of like the secret, you know, is yeah, you want to feather it, but it's kind of it's different than a feather, and I'll explain why. Let me just put the lights back on. It's different than a feather because when you're doing a feather, what you're really doing is blowing light past the subject, and you're letting the the beam angle spread kind of come around your subject a little more. Like when you feather past someone's face, you're actually trying to get the beam to kind of go and on the other side of the nose. And things like that. When you're doing a rim light going forward, it's not so much a feather. It would be a feather if I was turned more into it, and then it's feathering past. But because I'm doing a rim light, what it's really doing is just subtly grazing against to cause more of a brush against rather than a feathering. That was probably the worst way to explain it. Light is definitely one of the hardest things to kind of explain. I'll tell you that right now. Perfect example. Wow, never knew to use a rim light like that. Yeah, there's a lot. See, that's what I'm saying is a lot of the things that I think are being taught out there, like point the light and then get exposure and ta-da, and all you have to do is buy a different softbox. And that's not the case. There's distance, angle, beam angle, there's feathering, not feathering, there's bouncing, there's all sorts of ways to modify a light, and there's no like 100% correct way, but if you bring an image and it looks off, these are usually the reasons it looks off, you know. So when you tell me that this is has a hair light, there's really no evidence of this, you know what I mean? Like it might not have even have been interacting with, the light might not have been interacting with him at all, honestly, you know. So what it probably was hitting was your background more, if at all. So it might have been brushing way past him, you know, something like that. The other thing is I can tell that you kind of kept the light a little lower because of the brimmed hat. What I probably would have done though is drag the light more to me. So if I'm shooting, right, and you are your son, the model right here, right? I would have dragged the light a little bit more to me so that the light was a little bit directed towards him, so that we shrunk down this shadow a little bit and we kind of filled this out a little bit more, and maybe even hit the ear just a touch. But it's just got a little bit too much of like a grim lighting scheme to it, and I think part of that is there's just no kick. Let me see what I got here. Hang on. Whoop. Is this not going to happen? Is this not going to happen? No? Come on. Oh, so annoying, computers. Like if I were to go and give him just a little bit of life, just a little bit more life on the midtones, just bring him up a little bit, and then just a touch down on the darks just to give him that. You see how it kind of comes alive a little bit more? And this is just really quick adjusting. This isn't like a real edit or anything like that, and because there's a little bit of like a overexposure here, and it's a little off, let me show you. Because it's a little, oh my God, get out of this freaking crop tool. Because see how it's a little overexposed here, then here? That's inverse square, right? So what we want to try to do is kind of even that out a little bit by pulling that light closer to you, and then the distance of the light from this cheekbone to this cheekbone will be more similar, right? So if it was 5 feet, and if this is like 4.5 feet, and this is 5 feet from the light, obviously this is going to overexpose a little bit. If you pulled it closer to you, this might have been 5 feet and this might have been 5 feet, and you would have had a more of an even exposure, right? Having said that, just a quick little evening out of this cheek point right there, and we're pretty good. All right. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, it's crucial. Placement of light is everything. I don't care what modifier. I don't care if it's a speed light or 1,000 watt second D2. It has to be placed properly to get you either even, uneven, whatever you're going for. A lot of it has to do with the distance of subject to model, and not just the model to the light, but what part of the model to the light. Case in point, if I do a shoot and my light's over here, as soon as I put my hand out, look how bright this hand got because it's closer to this light. But if I do this, see how it evened out? Look at that. Overexposed on my hand. Way more even exposure. What's up, bud? I was just talking about placement of light. So if your light is so far to the side and your subject is more like this becomes overexposed compared to here. Had you done this, now the distance kind of starts evening out just a little bit more and more and more. And hey, for a first portrait, congratulations. Nice, clean portrait. I just want to get you realizing what's happening with the light. Because I think what happens all the time is people put a light out there, point it, shoot in TTL and go, what, I got an exposure that looks good, I'm good. When we could look at these images and really hone down the light. I mean, you guys see me and Ab and Daniel talk about this stuff like incessantly, right? Ab is a master of light. Talking about light placement, Ab shows up. I know. He was like, what? Lighting? I'll be right there. All right. Does that make sense, George? I hope that helped you out at all. I wish with my first there were decent. Oh. Guys, we're at 7:45. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to go right over to Twitch. So if you did not hit follow on Twitch, now's the time. If you don't have a profile over there, it's 100% free. Sign up. We go live multiple times a week there. I don't go live doing this on YouTube that much at all. So everyone in the chat can attest to the Twitch channel being like our home there. So let me know if you have any issues with that. But hit that link, because in a few minutes, we're going right over there to finish this critique up. Okay, guys? And someone mentions a GFX 100. Hey, Ab, I might be getting my hands on a GFX 100 again. You in trouble, boy. You in trouble, boy. All right, Jacob, Utah. You still in the chat, man? Jacob, Utah? I hope so. Because I'm going backwards for you, buddy. I'm going backwards for you, man. Man. But add the Twitch channel, because we do these far more on that channel than we ever will on this YouTube. I promise you that. Did I not just see Jacob? Am I crazy? Is he not in the chat? Jacob? All right, do I got to move on? Because I'd hate to do that. Still here, okay. All right, Jacob, let's go for this surfing one first. Okay, in this one, there's a few issues. And I'm going to bring it. Hey, what's up, Gary? Gary, are you in my Twitch channel? Gary's another one that came from the in-person critiques. All right. Two issues I have off the bat. One is your framing. I really want to see this whole ripping up part of the wave, and I'm not getting that. Instead, I'm getting this here and some crust over here that I don't need. This could have been way more effective showing me where he came from, how that wave is being affected by him. So whatever's over here, we're missing it, right? The other thing is, I think it's got a little bit too much of a fade going on to it. I think if you look, there's no blacks going on. Look at this. It's just not even, it's not even there. Look at that. So when we crunch those down, you see how we get like a nice anchor point? We'll pull up the midtones. We'll crunch down the black a little bit more. Now look how crispy that looks. Look how much more he's coming off of this frame right off the bat, right? Look, this is where you had it. This is where I'm pushing it towards. You see how much more he's like really coming out? Now, if I were just to do something like, this would have been cool as a square actually, but if I did, hold on, let me start over. If it was something more along the lines of this, right? And if I gave this, let me go, just so, this is a simulation. This is not really what I'm trying to get you to do, but you'll understand when I show you. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm going to take, I'm going to duplicate this. Come on. I'm going to duplicate this layer just so you guys can, this is not how I don't want you to edit this, just to be clear. What I'm trying to get you to do is understand that you can oh wait, actually, let me do this. I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, and I'll do Apple T, and we'll stretch it out. Now look at that. Look at what we could have had. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we could have had, like, I mean, I'll even do a really shitty thing I never do just to show you guys what I'm talking about. We'll do this in the worst possible fashion. You see what I'm saying? Like, give me that, give me that, give me that. Where is it? Why don't I have it? You know? So keep in mind when you're doing subjects, the, oh, what's going on here? When you're doing moving subjects like this or a sport or something like that, where they came from is just as important as where they are right there. I need to know the whole range of the motion of action here. You know what I mean? Like, I should see all this, man. I'm just trying to show you what the frame could have been. You know what I mean? And we could go even further than that. I could go to canvas size and do it again and really stretch it the hell out. So figure 3, give it 4,000. Hit OK. V, I'll turn this over here. We'll go to, I don't even know what the hell the thing is anymore. We'll do this. We'll go Apple T, there we go. Shift, stretch it even farther. And then we'll go to crop. And we'll crop this down. I mean, do you get how that's more of an image than this? Right? I get shooting vertical to get the wave and him. I even get that you want to see the calm of the water here, but to show me where he came from and what he did to that water, I think is way more of a story, right? I called you out for the blacks on the fire truck. Hey, but it made a big difference, right? Right? Okay. And we're going to go and do your, are we good on that, Jacob, before I move on? And also keep in mind, after this image, we are going over to the Twitch channel to finish this. So if you're not following me there, you got a problem, kid. So join us over on Twitch. We're going to be there in a few minutes. We go live doing this multiple times a week. Join us there, okay? All right. Let's go into this very stylish mountain biker right here. So this kind of has a similar issue going on, okay? It might even be your screen calibration, to be honest with you. You might not be seeing this, but let me go into this really quick. So I don't care about here. What I care about is the rest of the trail. And I know we're using this tree to kind of frame it up, but look how she becomes right in a rule of thirds crosshair just by doing that. Just by doing that. This is a little distracting, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of it, so it's a little tough for me. So what I'm going to do is, actually, let's start that crop over. We're going to sneak this in a little bit, and I'm going to crush this down a little bit. Do you see how much more she became the focus of it? Now watch this. Look, no blocks again. See that? So to give us something to anchor into, just a little bit, just a little bit. Because shadows should look like shadows. Blacks should kind of look like blacks. You know, it's just kind of the way we need to see some things happen here, man. You know? So, look, this is what you gave me. A lot of busyness. I'm not really focused on her so much. Now look at what just happened. I know where she's coming from. She feels she's coming at me more. Here, a lot of noise. A lot of noise. I don't think I want to square this one purely because it really is about the trail as much as it is about her. You know what I mean? You got this super stylish, all tealed out, you know, very fit, in the moment, kinetic energy happening. If you did a square, what does that do for me? What does this do for me? What does the square do for me? You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather be part of the environment and feel that I'm in there with the foreground. It's a lot of foreground element, but I want to see the trail where she came from. I want to get the feel of the day. You know, does everyone get that? Here's where he started. Here's where I'm putting it. Is that teal all post? Nah, that can't be post. That looks like she has those shoes. She's got those gloves. Yeah, but now that you see it, Jacob, see it when you're shooting. Compose when you're shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time I show you guys a crop, I want. Oh, that's your wife. Well, it's a cool color for her. It works for her. Every time you guys shoot, remember the first decision you're really making is what of the world are you cropping out? You're always cropping. You're always going to crop. All right? Even with a 360 camera, you have to choose which vantage point you want it from. You have to make that decision. You are including and you're excluding what you want for the viewer. All right, so is that all fair, Jacob? All right, guys, 45 people watching, got 16 likes, and we are about to head over to the Twitch channel to finish this whole thing up, where we can kind of cut loose a little more because that's like more of our home there. Listen, everyone that's new, thanks for joining me on this channel. Go to the Twitch channel. It's in the chat. If you're watching this on replay, the Twitch link is down below in the description, or you can follow me anywhere at LastXWitness, including Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Yell at me on Twitter all you want. Come at me. It's totally fine. We can do that. Emma, you can go to sleep. It's all right. No worries. So join us there. Hit follow. If you don't have a Twitch account, it is 100% free. I promise you. If you have Amazon Prime, you basically can sign up 100% easily with one button. It's totally easy. All right. Hey, what's up, D? So we're going to go head over and finish this up on Twitch. Everybody in YouTube land, thank you so much. Please consider hitting subscribe and the bell for more notifications. I do a lot of live demos right here on this channel. I just did one on watt seconds and showed you guys what different lighting power does actually and what it means. Yeah. Oh, man. And also hit follow on my Instagram if you want to check out some of my work, and hit me up on Twitter if you want to keep in discussion, and join our Discord. All these things for you to do. But right now what I need you to do is head on over to Twitch. I'll see you guys over there. Listen, guys, all you in the chat, yeah, hit the like. I got some classy people in my chat here. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go see you over on Twitch. Go on over there. Let me open up the chat room before I close this out so you guys can get in there. It should be open. Are you guys over there by now? Nope. Let me get over there. Hang on a second. I'm going to open up the chat room so you guys can settle in over there. Okay. Chat room should be open on Twitch. Go hang out. I'll see you guys over there. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit follow, all that good stuff. And for anybody that is new to me, go over to Twitch and you can find me on everything LastXWitness. Okay? I'll see you on Twitter, Instagram, all the stuff. And all you guys in the chat, all you lovely people, I'll see you over on Twitch. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. Later.